Hey everybody, this is Lynna and you are watching Lynna's Life. And today we have a special guest yet again on our program, as if this is a program. Um, Basically, we're going to have my friend, your friend, our friend, Justice, join us again for another engaging round of conversation where we talk about everything and anything having to do with anything at all in life, right? So, um, specifically talking about, things that are of relevance to people that do what we do in life and how we deal with things in life and what, challenges we're presented with and the stereotypes that are thrown in our faces and our way and stuff like that. And just, how we are able to function as regular, normal, guess what? Human beings. We're just regular, normal people. Yeah. Isn't that neat? We're just normal people, just like anyone else. I, get up in the morning and I wake up just like anyone else. I then, have breakfast just like anyone else. I, do my makeup, because it's what I do to present myself to the world, just like any other woman would. Um, Everything is pretty normal. It's a pretty normal existence. And, the things that we do is kind of like normal. Like I don't like to, get involved with any of the, um, going to bars and dancing and, finding somebody and sleeping and, all that. It's just not me. I mean, I grew up a very um, sheltered existence. So the existence that I have now, it just really, I don't defy, myself how I've always been. I've always been a person that's been pretty chaste, and I don't really give myself up to addictions or anything like that. So, um, but I just don't really like the fact that a lot of times the trans community is misrepresented, trans women especially are misrepresented by all this stereotyping that goes on, and it's really sad because I am friends with other women that have my experience and have had the same kind of path in life, and they're older and they're just beautiful people. And without any further ado, it's Justice. Oh, you look so cute.
Thank you. Hey, can
Oh
you hear me?
my gosh, your hair up is so pretty, pretty, pretty.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Awesome. Nice
How
dress.
are you?
I'm good. I came prepared actually. I have
Good.
oops. Oh God. Okay. I have
That's a good mic. Wow,
strawberries.
those look really good.
Oh, they're gonna be good. And I have watermelon.
Watermelon. Yum.
I know it.
My friend
Anyway.
and I stopped off at like the local farmer's fruit stand, and they had these apricots
Oh,
on
nice.
like fresh from the tree.
Perfect.
Look at that. Just beautiful.
You're so little.
Yeah, they're little guys, but boy, they pack a good taste, Just, yeah, really good stuff. And I am carb like really deficient right now. So what I have here is kettle corn and regular peanuts.
Nice. Nice.
So I've
What's
really.
your camera resolution there? You look a little blurry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Oh,
should put it up on higher res.
okay, hold on. How do you do? Wait. Okay,
Should be
settings.
under settings.
Oh, it's on 720, it says,
Okay.
but I guess it's just weak.
It's just weak.
It's just weak.
Oh, well.
It's weak. My friend says, when a woman doesn't have any backbone and, like the ability to like stand up for herself, if her husband's like demanding or whatever, she says that they're known as a weak tit.
A weak tit. That's nice.
Tit, yeah, she's just a weak tit. She doesn't stand up for anything. She just lets them run right over her.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind?
You came prepared?
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Oh, I got
What is that? Cherry Coke? Dr. Pepper?
yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I got a Dr. Pepper, which I don't drink very often. And I actually I didn't buy it. My friend bought it for me because she knows I like Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
But I haven't, I'm not going to say no to these things anymore. I've said no for way too long,
No,
So-
you can't have that. You're not allowed. It's too many carbs.
And
Oh, okay. So did they size you?
yeah,
So what's the number?
the number is whatever this is.
Are you gonna be secret about it?
Whatever this is.
It looks at least like a D. It looks like a double D. I can't see it. It says 38. Oh, you're a 38C or a 30?
Yeah, 38C.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I'm a 36C. So we're both about the same.
Oh yeah, we could like share bras. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Just FedEx me.
okay, I'll do that. But
Yeah, when are you gonna come visit? I'm waiting for you to. When do you want to come over?
Oh, maybe sometime next month.
Or maybe I can come up there.
Oh yeah, you really could. You would be invited. I'm sure. My friend would love to have you come over.
Yeah, we could all hang out in the backyard and
yeah.
lots of room out there.
I was hoping that, but it's getting later in the season. I mean, although it's still early, but there's a pool over there, and it's really nice. At least maybe get the jacuzzi.
I got a swimsuit. Do you have a swimsuit?
I do. Yeah, I have a bikini top that I tried on last night. That I was like, oh my God, it fits.
Nice.
And he's like, wow, it actually fits my body now. Whereas before it was like you could hear the music going wah wah wah. So it's really great, So I'm just really super excited, that I can finally have the kind of upper body that I've always wanted to be able.
Oh my God! Did you see my panties?
No.
Oh my God! I just went out of frame and I'm wearing a dress and I'm sitting cross-legged.
I just saw you roll back in your little slinky self and get whatever.
I'm a slinky. Yeah, I'm like a worm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see what?
All 100.
If you want, yeah.
All 102 pounds of you.
Come on in.
Oh, hello.
It's my girlfriend.
What's her name?
She's like, can I say hello? Her name's Anne-Marie.
Please do. What's her name?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Hi, Anne-Marie.
She says hello.
She's like, oh, I just wanted to peek in and then leave.
It's Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Oh, that's nicer.
Anne-Marie. I don't know. I can't say it. I can't say it.
Anne Marie. Okay, all right. That's
Oh my gosh.
a little nervous, are you?
I don't know. I don't like it because you look blurry and I can't see you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Let me
Maybe
see.
it's because I did it. Maybe I put my camera on 720. Let me look at the settings.
Well, let me see if
I did 720.
wait. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, that looks a little better.
Is that better?
Oh, it looks
Wait,
a little darker. You look dark
yeah,
now.
yeah, I'm gonna get a light to turn on here. Hold on. Hold down the fort.
Is there anyone here? I can't see the chat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sherry said hi. She said hello, ladies.
Oh, hello, hello.
And then Ms. Mercury said just stopped in to say hello. Ms. Mercury.
Okay.
Oh man. It's like, why? Why is it so weak?
I don't know. You looked fine last time we did it. Everything was fine.
Oh, let me try it again. Let's see.
Maybe it's just my computer. It could just be my computer. Oh, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah. What did you do?
I just restarted it.
Oh, yeah. You're good now. Now it's not going to look bad.
I look orange though, don't
You
I?
do. You look orange.
Yeah.
Oh no. There we go.
I don't want to be orange though.
I know. It looks better now. You don't look orange.
I don't want to look
I
purple.
want to have your tan, but you're not even tan. It's just your skin color.
Yeah. It's like, it is what it is. Being born in like, a tropical island, or not me, because I was born in California, but
Well, it's sunny in California.
it is. And it never rains in California, according to the song anyway. I'm just a real.
I think I did an accident. I think my panties were shown. Oh well.
Did they?
When I leaned back to blow my candle out, I think I exposed myself.
I didn't see anything, honestly.
It's fine. I mean, I'm not worried
I saw
about it.
black.
It's all flat anyway down there. I don't care.
Yeah, I saw black.
Okay.
You look like a Trump spray tan. They told me.
Is that what? Yeah. I knew someone was going to say it.
Tan, not orange. That's better. Yeah. So I guess I'll just put people's things up here so you can read them, because I don't want to be the only one to
Sherry
read
says,
them.
hello, ladies.
Yeah, Sherry. And then Ms. Mercury, she's a
Say
friend of
hello.
mine. She came in to visit. So that's
I wonder who else is going to show up.
otherwise known as Terry. It's Terry. All right. So she's got a name other than her handle, Ms. Mercury. She said, that's better. Blue Bottle Bunny Farm is with us. She says tan, not orange. Blue Bottle Bunny
Oh,
Farm.
I like the bunny.
Yeah, it is cool. She
Yeah,
has
it's like
a literal,
psychedelic.
she has a literal bunny farm. I think
That's
it's
so
in
cool.
Alabama.
I wish I had enough room. I would get a rabbit. I used to have one.
If you get one rabbit and then you get another rabbit and then
I don't want to do that.
because they like repopulate in like days.
Yes.
And then ESC says, you look like a Trump spray tan.
You did for a minute.
Hopefully you have some on.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. LOL. And ESC says, welcome, chatters.
Yeah, light the chat room up. Let's get this party started, because that's all we do. All we do is party and do drugs. Where's the drugs? I'm gonna bust out the crack cocaine and
the dance and everything, and just like go find the latest.
Out my line of crack. Hold on, just a second. I gotta grab my cocaine.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah,
But
it's just people like me, though. That's it. It's not anybody else. Just people like me.
Oh wait, Ms. Mercury says,
bunnies take a lot of work and they can be assholes. They're so cute though. Oh my
She
God.
could really say what she means and means what she says, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that Susan, Blue Bottle Bunny Farm, has something to say about that. That's great, though. I would love to dispel the rumors.
Well, let's, excuse me, let's do that. I just choked on a watermelon. Oh my God.
Yeah, we can start with that whole
Start
thing.
with the cocaine. Let's start with the cocaine. You have any?
The only time I ever tried cocaine was with someone
Oh yeah. Okay.
that I knew, because I would never have done it in my entire life. But the people that they were friends with, if you hang around with drug addicts, that's what happens.
I've never done it. I've
Yeah.
never done any hard
I
drugs
can't
before
say that
ever.
I've never done it because, but it wasn't anything for me to even make a big deal out of, because I'm not an addictive person. So it made me feel like I had a few Red Bulls. That's about it. And I was like, really? This is all it is? I can leave it. I don't need it.
Well, I was just kind of making fun of the fact that I don't think that everybody does that.
No, they don't. They don't usually do that, and that's the thing. So Miss Mercury says, I've done lots of drugs in the past. Want to know anything? LOL. No, everything I know of anything is something that I heard from someone that I was married to, But I honestly, when we were traveling in the summer of 2017, we left Fort Lauderdale and we became gypsy blue nomads on the road, driving and traveling all over the country. Well, we stopped in a town called Hotchkiss, Colorado, and my ex and I were presented with like like a jar with like five marijuana joints in it and a lighter. And I was like, I've never tried this stuff before. I mean, here I am, I'm like 47, and I'm like, he's like, so do you want to try it? In Colorado. And I'm like,
You want to try it? You want to try it?
And I was like,
hey guys,
really? I really don't. Let's just wait. And Sherry said this.
Yeah, I know. I forgot to bring the Coke. Me too. I know, because all of us, what do you Coke users still have any sense of smell? Yeah.
Oh my God. So anyway, we went to Utah and he's like, you want to try it? You want to try it? We're like out in like some back 40 area. And I'm like, not really. He goes, come on, when are we going to use it? When are we going to use it? I'm like, okay, let's try it. Oh, the mountains are going to change, into like orbs of light or something. And I was like, I tried a puff of it and I was like, this tastes like, like grass that got burned and shoved down your throat. And you're like, this is gross. It smells gross. It like tastes gross, So I was just like, I've never been a drug user. I've never been a person that would do that kind of thing. I never even smoked.
The person that did all the drugs is the person claiming that everyone else did all the drugs. And
well, the thing is, he knows a thing or two about drugs because he is a confessed cocaine addict. You know, he used to really be an abusive cocaine person.
And they blame it on their previous way of living or whatever they call it.
Before Christ.
I call it just living. Yeah, before Christ, before they were, you know, the daughter of the Most High per se.
That's a high and mighty title.
They're calling themselves Jesus. That's what they're calling themselves.
Well, they used to call themselves Jesus 2.0. I used to call him Jesus 2.0. I did, because we were breaking up last year, and I was like, so what is it that can get you to like maybe admit that you don't know everything? And he goes, the universe downloads everything into me. It teaches me all my lessons. And so I go, that is amazing. So you're the kind of person that will never, ever have anyone teach them anything at all. Well, the universe teaches me. I'm like, oh, goodness, please just drop me off in El Paso. Oh,
now it's God.
Yeah.
Apparently God does it all now, and God is doing everything and all this God stuff.
And the things that are being said, one of the things that I really had an issue with this morning was something that was said even before then about people being born a certain sex and then for eternity having to stay in that sex. So it's like a death sentence for a trans woman. And forever.
Really
Don't
funny.
think that it's ever going to change, and you need to work on it right now. And this
apparently they think that we take our bodies with us after we die, and I don't believe in that stuff. I just don't. I saw somebody that was dead, and you're dead. That's it. You don't go anywhere.
Well,
I mean, I'm not going to like bag on people who have the belief that they're, you know, might go somewhere after they die or whatever, but I just don't think you do. I think that you have to make the most out of your life while you're alive and experience things while you're alive and cherish every moment while you're alive, because what else are you going to do? You're not going anywhere after you die except for in the ground or being cremated.
Well, I mean, regardless of, you know, people's own personal, you know, thoughts on that subject, I just wanted to say that if you're going to use the tools from the Bible and you're going to make assertions,
yeah,
about, you know, what is true and what's not true. I mean, I may disagree with you, because what is being said in the Bible that they claim to know anything about, right, is not that. You know, I mean, I wrote earlier on my Facebook page, I said I wanted to correct any misinformation that is being peddled out there by my ex, who is actively twisting the word of God that they believe in and making claims and assertions that the Bible and Jesus never even made. The lies being spread that we are all born into the same sex, that we will then all die with that and have the rest of it for eternity. So if you're a trans woman and you were born with a male anatomy and you did changes, and it's like, don't think that you're going to get away with it. It's like so stupid, right? Because
yeah.
they just want to condemn people, right? So I said, this is patently not true. As a student of the Bible in the past, I studied the Bible, educated person who does not use Reddit boards or the latest blatherings on Twitter for my sources, I will say that beyond any shadow of any doubt that what Maritza is teaching is false and simply untrue. The stories given here in the verses that I wrote down and said, you know, but that these verses, that the people, the Pharisees, who were like baiting Jesus in these stories, right? If you're going to believe the account, who uncannily resembles my ex, you know, in their judgmental, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're going to go to hell if you like spit wrong or something, right? So they sought to trap Jesus and invalidate him as a teacher, right? So the master spoke in the word and said, clearly stated, men do not marry and women do not give in to marriage, but they are like the genderless angels in heaven who do not marry or produce children. Sex differences only applies here on this earth. Because of what? Only because of procreation. We are all genderless spirits, and it is our choice whether our spirit chooses to identify as feminine or whether it chooses to identify as masculine. Our bodies sometimes don't match what our spirit identifies as a true expression of what it sees. Sometimes these things happen in order to learn valuable life lessons. I know that this has certainly been the case for me. I do not do well with people like my ex who claim to know something about the Bible when they can't even have the patience to read it for themselves. I will correct my ex whenever she says something that is not true. Here is your verse, Maritza. Please go get educated before you think that you can teach anything about God and his word to anyone else. And I'm not saying that because I'm just like, believing everything that's been written, because I have an opinion about that too. But even if I did, what's being spoken is not true, because it says genderless. It says like the angels, which do not give in to marriage or produce children. So it's really lame. It's just another way for her to poke at a trans woman.
Yeah, they always attack trans women. They never talk about trans men, and it's because they are a trans man. Go figure. They would never say anything that would like make themselves look bad.
No, they wouldn't. And one of the things that I realized more than anything else in the last couple of days is that I realized that my ex was actually not just a trans man. My ex never, ever went out with a post-op trans woman. That means that all of the things that he wanted to do was based on a person who had a penis, right? A person who in like tranny porn circles is known as a she-male, okay? That is what was attractive to him. He wasn't attracted to a person who just wanted to live their life as a woman. No, it was being a person who was addicted to what they were addicted to, which was some pornish, obsessive, like halfway between, and it's like, that's not me and that's not you. And
It's
that's
definitely not me. I've been fixed.
Yeah, you've been fixed. So
I've been fixed.
I'm waiting in line, but I don't ever want to, be used like that.
And I love it how they say, oh, it doesn't matter if you get surgery. They always say, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter. You can do everything in the world and it still doesn't matter to them. There's always an excuse for the reason why they, to make them their little point valid, No, you're never going to be this because this is how it happened when you were born.
Hey, Amy.
Hello.
Amy's a great friend of mine from the East Coast. I've spoken to her many times. She's been very supportive of me. She's just a super sweet lady. Yeah. So yeah, there's just so many things that just don't sound right. And the fact is that if you watch what they do and you see just where they're coming from, their heart is so like, I don't know, it's so
anger.
It's so much anger.
It's anger. It's self-hatred. They don't like themselves. They hate themselves. That's the reason why they talk so negatively.
I don't blame them for feeling that way, because M has no hormones going through her body. Her body is breaking down, literally. It's breaking down because the skin is sagging and the body is really deteriorating. And that's because testosterone was keeping that person afloat, because that was the hormone that for 16 years coursed through his veins. you know.
Yeah, it changes you. It literally changes you. It changes a lot. And to just simply stop taking it is dangerous. But they're going to say otherwise. They're going to say, no, your body has homeostasis, and I'm a certified health professional, and I think I know everything.
If
And I've
it
been to the
does, then
doctor.
why does this person look so bad?
They
Because
don't look healthy at all.
they don't look healthy. I would never recommend their diet because it lacks a lot of essential fats and oils that we all need for our skin, for our body. You know, I mean,
I'm sure if they watch this, they're going to have a shit show with it because they're going to claim that they're the health professional and that, we don't know what we're talking about.
well, that's all well and good, but I learned from him. I know all of his tricks. I know all of the things that he has to say. I know. But, bigger than that is the fact that I have seen this person. I have seen this person as a male existing, having like this moon face, and filled in, very masculine, very attractive. And, I was like, wow, he's defying age at this point. But now I see a person that's really a shriveled up prune at this point. And it's really sad because, it is what it is, but they need to do a better job of taking care of themselves. Put some hormone in. If it's not going to be testosterone, put in estrogen.
Yeah, it's not going to harm them like they say it will. They've already made the claim, though, to everybody that's following them that so-called synthetic hormones, as they call them, synthetic hormones are not good for you. And I already got a spiel on my last channel that I had. They came on with a different account and tried giving me the whole synthetic hormone nonsense in the comment section over and over again. And I was just like, I don't really want to hear it. M also barely eats any food.
Yeah, and you can't really be healthy if you don't have any fuel inside of your body. When I was on the 1 meal a day plan, okay, I was on it for a long time. It would just, at first, it just was something that I thought maybe it's a good idea. Well, I suggested it, and now it's their way of life right now. But I did not find any benefit to the 1 meal a day program. I found myself not losing any weight, not really gaining anything, but constantly being disallowed from just functioning and living my life. It's like if you wanted to have a snack, you couldn't. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't just eat a piece of fruit in the evening, or you had to eat from the hour, and this was his thing, from the hour of like 1 o'clock to 1:30, 2 o'clock. That's when we were eating. We were preparing our food for like an hour, cutting it all up in little pieces. One apple went 4 days or 3 days or something. So
I thought 3 meals a day was supposed to be what's healthy. That's what people have always said. 3 meals a day is what you're supposed to have.
well, yeah, they do say that, and they would argue with you that it constantly keeps the body constantly digesting food, and the gallbladder is constantly being used and all that. But putting the body into sleep mode every time after you eat, I don't think that's healthy either.
Well, I think what they're trying to do by not eating is they're trying to shrink themselves because they feel like that's what they need to do to be a woman. They feel like they need to be smaller. So they're starving themselves and they're eating 1 meal a day.
They can't, they cannot say these things because the proof is in the pudding. Okay. When I was with this person, I was as gaunt as could be. I was looking really crappy because I was like all bony and like just gone, and I don't like overindulge on stuff, but God knows I'll have a Dr. Pepper every now and then, or candy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Be smart, don't abuse the privilege, you know? It's just really sad, you know, that they have to think that their way is the best way, because it's not. It's obvious because the proof is in the person. You know, it's like if you have a trainer, for instance, and they want to get you in shape and stuff, you're not going to go to the emaciated looking dude at the gym. You're going to go to the dude with, you know, with the muscles and stuff and the body to back up what he's saying, right? So same thing. Why would you listen to a person who states certain things about health, but then when you apply those same things and they do them, it's not good? Because look at them, you know, just look at them.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is. I just think that, you know, telling people that the lake of fire is hot and that because we choose to live our lives the way we choose to live them, you know, it just that we're somehow
they're obsessed with gender. I don't wake up every morning and think about my gender. I went through a process and it was from point A to point B, and then that was it.
Wait,
and I maintain myself.
What's next? You're forever depressed. So what's next?
Right. Exactly. They think that I'm this depressed person who loathes for love and, you know, needs attention, and I need my cocaine to keep me going during the day. And none of my friends are trustworthy because they're, you know, gay or they're lesbian or something like that. Just all this nonsense. I mean, what kind of nonsense? Why? They're just painting like a specific group of people a certain way, and it's like, why? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's really disappointing because, you know, if God's really changed your life, then why not go after people that are in need of changing instead of just going after trans women? I think
preach the Bible and just stop talking about gender and actually preach the Bible. Actually do something with it. Actually be a good example and be positive, and stop fear-mongering people and stop inviting guests on that are going to fear-monger people and, you know, yell the whole time and try to, you know, that person that they had on, all they did was yell and try to instill fear in everybody. And, you know, look what's happening, and this is going to happen to you if you don't stop what you're doing, and all this nonsense. It's just like, what planet do you live on?
You know, I agree with this person's, Miss Vicky. She says, to each his own. Please don't judge, not in the pudding. Get over it. Move on. God bless y'all.
The thing is your ex is obsessed with judging people. They feel like they have a mission to judge people because they found a verse in the Bible that says that they're obligated to judge people. So whenever someone says, don't judge, that's their comeback. No, it's my mission. It's my calling to judge you because I'm supposed to call out the sin and all this kind of stuff. And for someone like me, I'm an atheist. So everything that they say to me is garbage. Everything gets thrown out the window. I'm like, everything you're talking about makes absolutely no sense at all. To me, this person's like a schizophrenic, basically. They're going way overboard. I mean, it reminds me of somebody who's bipolar and is not medicated and is having delusions and all this stuff and is obsessive compulsive. I mean, for God's sakes, they're wearing 2 crosses on their neck and they're parading, or, you know, it's like, look at me, you know, it's just like overkill.
And they're just quick to just throw everybody that they don't agree with under the bus. You know, it just, everybody who doesn't say what they want to hear, they're thrown under the bus, you know, and that's not the way to be. You know, as a human being, we're called to be decent, loving people, you know, and regardless of what you think about the afterlife, whether it's here or not or there, I honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to say that, you know, patently say, oh no, there is no afterlife, but I'm not going to say, you know, that there is, you know, I mean, it's like, we don't know.
That's the perfect answer is I don't know. That
right.
is the perfect answer. I don't know. There's no way to know. And I'm not going to take it off of just some random book that was written thousands of years ago by some guy in the desert who was living under a tent and eating scorpions for dinner. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's really when you look at the history of the Bible and what it represents, it's always represented patriarchal control. So from its very inception, whoever wrote the first books of the Bible, I mean, there's some really bad stuff in there, and the guy yesterday was throwing down um, all this stuff about, Sodom and Gomorrah
Oh,
and
that's their favorite story. That's the favorite story. That's their little key. It's their little pass to go ahead and pass judgment. It's their pass. Geez, atheist. Wow, that's just
that's
okay.
judgment.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I'm atheist agnostic is what I am. I don't claim to know that I'm not going to claim that I know that say no, there's not an afterlife or no, there's not a creator, but like based off the evidence, I haven't seen any yet, so.
yeah, I mean, just doesn't seem right to me. I still love you. Well, I'm glad that you still love her because there's no reason for you to hate her.
Go
There's
off
no reason
the
for me to
evidence.
hate you.
Go off the evidence. You have to have a good reason to believe in something, and usually there has to be good evidence for it. And that's why we have science, and science is what we use in order to determine what is real and what is not real. We don't believe a schizophrenic when they say they have an imaginary friend and that their imaginary friend wants them to go walk off a cliff because they said that they can fly. We don't believe that type of person. So I'm not going to believe somebody who says they can hear God talk to them and God tells them to do things and stuff like that. It's no different to me.
Well, I come from the school, of Christianity and stuff like that, and I have seen both sides of it all, right? And I look at it trying to be impartial, and what I see is that the whole system is rigged. It's set up to control a population of people and to make people feel like if they don't do what they're being told to do, that they're gonna die, and not just die, but like your eternal Father loves you. He really does. But if you cross him, he's gonna burn you forever. And I mean, ever.
Mafia boss. It's the mafia boss. Hey, looks like a nice joint you have here. Be a shame if it went up in flames. Tell you what, pay me $5 a month, $25, here and there, $1,000 a month, and I'll make sure nothing happens to it. But if you don't, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to break your legs.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's the mafia boss.
And that's not at all, the truth of our existence. I mean, I don't know about all of that stuff. All I know is that what I was taught isn't true. That's all I know. Because when I look at the evidence, when I see the places that I'm supposed to be like all like compelled to like be emotional about, like when I walked where Jesus walked and stuff, all I saw was just a bunch of shrines and things for people to just gawk at and to divide people. That's it. So
doesn't it say not to idol worship in the Bible, not to worship idols?
Well, it says one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not have any graven images or something like that.
So we shouldn't be wearing crosses on our necks and worshiping that. We shouldn't be worshiping statues. We shouldn't be worshiping, special little statues and stuff like that. And
I've never worn
ornaments.
a cross, even when I was, a confessing Christian. I mean, I just never believed in it, that kind of thing.
I used to.
You used to?
I used to, yeah. I used to believe in all that stuff, and I even thought that I was hearing voices and stuff, and I actually was, because believe it or not, I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, and I take medication for it. And I started taking medication for it, and I stopped believing in all that stuff. I was like, wow, I can't believe I was believing in all that stuff. I used to believe in conspiracy theories, everything that, your ex does. That's everything that I was doing, calling God dad and everything like that, and thinking that I can talk to, thinking that I can see UFOs and angels and everything like that. And yeah, no. And now that I have medication for it, it all went away, and that's it. Everything is good as new.
Amy has a great point. I mean, if you were to believe in an ultimate, source of creation and stuff, that, a father wouldn't beat down their kids. I mean, they wouldn't like demand them to worship them and stuff like
Sure.
that. For me, it just seems like that whole system, whether it is Catholicism or Christianity or Islam, they all come from the same place, right? But any system of religious indoctrination is a tool for control. Even Buddhism, all of it is just simply a tool to control the masses. And I think as an independent, free spirit, that I don't need to live under that tyranny. I don't.
And who's to say that Christians are right? There's like over 1,000 religions out there. What if they're wrong?
Well, if they're right, why is it that they have thousands of denominations?
But what if they're wrong?
Oh,
What
yeah.
if they're wrong? Then they're going to go to whatever hell is the hell of the religion that's right.
Yeah.
I said something like that in the chat before, I was blocked from your ex. I mentioned, what if you're wrong? What makes you think that you're right? Why isn't Catholicism right? Got blocked immediately.
Of course. I mean, any symbol of anything is going to be blocked.
Okay, so ESC says, Justice, it stopped when you had medication. Are you more settled now about God and your belief? So, as I said, I'm like an agnostic atheist, so I'm not going to say that I'm not going to definitely say that there is no creator or anything like that, because I don't have any evidence for it. But I haven't seen any evidence for it. I stopped believing in conspiracy theories, and I stopped hearing, voices like Maritza. Maritza says that they hear voices and stuff like that. I was hearing things. I was having delusions. I was seeing things. I started taking medication, and all those things stopped. I stopped believing in conspiracy theories. It didn't make any sense anymore. It was like, wow, I can't believe that I was thinking these strange thoughts. Why was I thinking these things? And I stopped hearing voices and all these things. And my transition has nothing to do with my bipolar. I've asked my psychiatrist. Oh, okay. I was just reading the comment. But I've asked my psychiatrist about it. I've asked my therapist about it, and it has nothing to do with the transition. I know that Maritza says, oh, you know how Maritza says that people that have Asperger's and blames it on other things and says that that's the reason why people go through a transition. It's not true. I've spoken to doctors about it, and they all tell me that that's not true. And by the way, the World Health Organization just came out and said that gender dysphoria is not a mental disorder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the guest that was on Maritza's channel said that it was a mental disorder and was like, I'm not gonna,
yeah, I'm not going to
someone's mental disorder or something like that. And it's like, it's not a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
They used to say that homosexuality was a mental disorder, and it's not a mental disorder. So when dogma takes over spirituality, you get what M is preaching, which is control. Yeah.
Yeah. Amy says, as I have said to Lynna, to me, God is the energy that makes a little seed grow into a giant oak. That is a miracle.
See, I'm okay with something like what Amy just said. I'm okay with those things. I'm okay with some of the stuff that the Bible says, and there are some good messages in there and whatnot. What I'm not okay with is what people use it for. Like if they're going to use it for evil things and to try to control people, I'm not okay with that. Or use it as an excuse to be horrible towards people. I'm not okay with that.
It's never okay. It's never okay to control people. That's the problem. And that's what religion tends to do. I mean, the present regime that we're under here in the United States says that they want to be able to remain in power like a king. I mean, that is wrong. In this country, we have an elected process where people are only allowed to be president 2 times. That's it.
Yep.
You know, so it's like they want to be, what, they just want control. You know what they're all about.
So yeah, the medications, they got the odd thoughts out. Yeah, they did.
So Amy says, I agree with Sherry.
Bipolar 1 is a bitch. I am also, and I agree that life-changing long-term decisions and changes are not things done during mania. I was mania a lot of the times. I was doing crazy things and believing into crazy things. And I had a YouTube channel a long time ago, and I was saying crazy things. And I'm just so glad that none of that stuff is around anymore. But
yeah, they, I've been around charismatic Pentecostal Christianity for my whole life. Not anymore, but I grew up, in that kind of an environment where you saw people getting knocked down and saw people speaking in tongues and running. One time I remember in college, we had like a camp meeting thing that was going on during the holidays, like Thanksgiving or something, and they would have services all the time, right? So there was this person just running in circles all around the church, like I don't know what, and then they get clobbered by the pillar, and then they fall down, and it's like, this is nonsense.
yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Speaking in tongues is a bunch of nonsense. It's not even a language. When they were talking about speaking in tongues, I believe it was someone was speaking Chinese and the other person heard it in their own language.
Oh yeah, and that sounds exactly like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that has a viable, reason for existing, but this nonsensical blathering of, somebody's vocal cords for no other reason other than to be heard and to, and then I grew up at a time when they were literally like, people were dealing with like all these breaking out of like all these different revivals and movements and things like that. So Christians were like jumping on the bandwagon to the latest something, right? So there was this one movement, and it was out in Toronto, and people were flooding this one church, and people were like barking like dogs, hissing like snakes.
Yeah, see, that's just crazy nonsense.
It's just nuts.
It's just an excuse to act like a crazy person.
I think it does. I think
I want to know what'd be interesting is if Maritza actually took medication for bipolar or schizophrenia. It would be interesting to see the changes that would happen. Yes, I have done ridiculous things. My friends used to say that I was the only person they knew that had to take drugs not to be high.
Oh, wow, manic.
Sometimes I miss being manic because it's
what
like
is manic?
You obsess over things. You're very hyper. You talk really, really fast. Sometimes you have hallucinations. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you hear auditory hallucinations like sounds and stuff like that. Sometimes you can't sleep for days and you'll spend hours working on projects, hours and hours and hours obsessing over the same thing over and over and over again and whatnot. And it causes anxiety and stuff like that. And it's real tiring. So,
oh goodness, that just sounds like torture. Sounds
yeah,
like
then you can be depressed. Then what will happen is you'll go down into a depressed state and you'll be really depressed and, you'll feel like you'll have no energy or anything like that. And you can sleep for a long time and you'll sleep for days on end and stuff like that. You won't be active. So
wow.
it's like a teeter-totter type thing. And what the medication does is it balances everything out.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Kind of like sets things in order or something, kind of like
back into what Maritza calls homeostasis.
Oh yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's a great term. Yeah.
Yep. It's expensive medication too. It costs for 30 pills, it costs $1,500.
Whoa. And you have to be on that.
I'm on it, but I'm actually lucky. I'm lucky that my insurance covers it.
Wow. You got to be
I'm not
rich.
going to say I'm blessed because there's a reason why it's covered.
Yeah.
So
So many. Oh yeah, torture for those around us for sure. Yeah. I know that my ex used to say that they could see the grays and all the different
I used
aliens.
to say that. I saw them. I've seen them before. It was a hallucination, and it's really scary.
And, they said that they saw things moving and, you know, seeing into the spirit world. I mean,
Yep.
what do you think about the spirit world?
What do I think about the spirit world? I think that there's a possibility that it could exist. I think it's interesting. I think it's something that is fun to, talk about and whatnot. I don't know if it really does exist. I'll find out after I die, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had a job taking care of a disabled couple back in the 90s, both evangelical and almost didn't get the job because I had a cat and they believed that they were demons, still got the job, but crazy. Yeah. I thought that when I had the episode that took me to the hospital, I thought that my cat was a spy and was spying.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that my cat was listening to my conversations, spying on me, and then going to my neighbor's house and telling my neighbors everything that I was doing.
Whoa.
That was the day that I had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was manic for a week. I got stuck in a manic mode for a couple weeks, actually. And I was actually kept in a hospital for a couple weeks because of it.
Goodness.
That's what it takes to get diagnosed with it, though. It's hard for people to get diagnosed with bipolar 1 because you actually have to have an episode, and that's how they diagnose you. They're like, okay, this person's having hallucinations and stuff like that. I even said that I was God. They asked me if I was God, and I said I started laughing at them, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Can you not see that I am God?
Oh my.
I am the daughter of the Most High."
You used to say that?
I used to say that. That's why when Maritza says that, they're the daughter of the Most High, I shake my head and I'm like, "Yep, I was there once.
You're like, I
I'll
am.
get on medication soon because you know what? I know what it's like to be manic." So
I just, there's just so many things that looking back just really make me really go, oh man, how could I let myself do that or be subjected to that kind of person,
I used to think that I was a queen. I thought that I was a queen and that it was a monarchy in the United States.
Hmm.
And I thought that I had control over the government. I thought that I was in control of the CIA. I thought that I had control over all the lawyers, that they were all my officers and that they would do what I told them to do. I used to call the police the polar bears and that I would have the polar bears come and get you if like you were out of control. I had nicknames for things like that. I used to think that the police were under my control and the black uniforms and the stars that they have for badges meant something, like the Mason stuff. I was into the Mason thing.
Are you into that?
What's that?
Do you believe in all that, the Illuminati and the Masons and
No.
all?
The Masons is an actual they have an actual group. They actually have, it's like a club, and they have lodges and stuff like that. So that's been proven, but they're not like trying to control the world or do any of that kind of stuff. It's just a private group. I don't believe in the Illuminati. I don't believe in the New World Order. I used to believe in those things when I was manic, but I don't believe in that stuff. Maritza and their little followers, they all believe in the New World Order. They think that the Illuminati is out to make everybody transgender and, all this crazy stuff is happening. And then they go and they start talking about Bible verses and they inject the Bible into it, at the same time. And I watch this stuff and I just keep thinking back on my past and I'm just like, gosh, I used to believe that stuff. I can't believe this. This person needs to get on medication or something like that. And I can't believe that they're influencing these people and these people are following this person. So to me, it's just like I'm looking at things that Maritza does and I'm just like, yep, I know what that's like.
Well, there's a lot of brokenness. And there's a lot of broken people. There's a lot of hurt people. And if they can find someone that they could like connect to, then they're going to want to like really be influenced by them because they're saying what they want to hear, you know.
Exactly. The hypomanic phase can be very good, but I had to learn how to balance the phases with medicine to attain hypomania. I hope I'm not yelling. Am I yelling?
No,
Okay. I don't want to sound like I'm yelling.
hopefully so.
Like I said, I miss being manic sometimes because it is kind of fun, you know?
It's fun to be manic.
You have like an imagination. I used to paint and stuff like that, and I would come up with crazy ideas.
Really?
Throw paint down on canvas, and I painted this really awesome angel, and it had all this fire around its wings and everything like that, and it was coming up out of this huge thing of flames, and it looked really awesome. And at the time I was living with a bunch of Christians, and they absolutely hated it. I tried to hang it up on the wall, and they took it and they put it outside.
Wow.
They're like, "That's demonic." I was like, "It's just a painting." I hope M gets help one day. It's hard to wish well on someone who is being so offensive. Yeah, it is.
You know, Jonathan Winters went hypermanic and took over a sailing ship at Pier 39 in the name of piracy in the early 1960s. Wow.
Yep.
You know, that's the danger that we have when people speak these things, because they can influence someone who's weak, you know, and emotionally struggling. I mean, think about a young trans person who's really dealing with it and feels like maybe they're disappointing God or whatever it is, and they're kind of like lost and, you know, just, and then they listen to that.
Sorry, I'm smiling because my girlfriend is being a dork. She's off over here, and she's I'm doing a live show right now. Sorry.
That's all right. She's welcome to join us.
No.
She said that's okay.
Oh, okay. Gemma Church. Hey,
Hello. Anyway, I think that, you know, what Maritza's message is basically to people that may be struggling with their identity is, if you're struggling with your identity, you need to come to grace or whatever, or start reading the Bible and, you know, understand that I don't even really know how to say it, really. They're just going to try to deter you away from going in the direction of a transition, basically.
well, one of the things that I really found odd, and this is really interesting because both of them, you know, were like, oh, you got a compliment.
I did. Oh, thank you. I know someone told me that I need to smile more because when I'm listening to Lynna, I get really like focused, and then I don't smile, and it's like, okay.
But you know, one of the things that I was going to say, and I just lost it.
Oh no.
It came and it went. It's like,
Oh no.
you know,
We were talking, the last thing I said was what Maritza's going to try to tell their viewers is to not go through a transition.
yes. Okay, so then here are two people who were both like the guests from yesterday's program over there. They were both addicted to porn. They were both like really perverted mind thinkers, right? You know, they were into weird sexual things, right? Kinky,
Yeah.
whatever. And the guy who is a repressed gay man, because I just think it's just, he's still gay, he just can't act on it.
Well,
He's
when you say I want the love of the brothers from the church, and I just want the hugs, and I just want to be around the guys, and he just kept saying that over and over again, and I'm like,
yes,
dude, you're still gay. Stop lying. Just
and he's
it's fine.
and I still want to cuddle with a man in bed, but I know that it's wrong. You know,
Right.
like that's the thing. If this power that they're talking about is so transformative and so, you know, glorious and powerful, then why aren't they completely delivered, you know, from whatever it is that they feel that they were needing to be delivered from? Maybe it's just the fact that they are who they are And what they're doing now is really hurting themselves because now they're suppressing. I did a lot of suppressing
Yeah.
before I transitioned. I lived in suppression, and that prematurely ages you. That makes you bitter. That
Yeah.
hurts you. I mean, there are so many things wrong with suppressing things. It's like a volcano. There's all that magma down below the surface, and it's
Well, it
just
showed. The guy was yelling the whole time, and then he started dealing out threats of hell and damnation to everybody. And then he started talking about Iran and how they want Sharia law in the United States and how the president's trying to do us good by telling people they can't enter into the United States. And look what these people are going to try to do. They're going to try to kill you and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, you would love it. I mean, you would love it if there was Sharia law, because everything that you're talking about basically is that, and I just was like, yeah, way to go.
I agree. But one of the overriding principles that they keep saying that they're not angry, they're not upset, they're not frustrated, they love. But like our RCCC says, M has many, many issues, too many to resolve. It seems like anger is already embedded within that person. And that is like, ever since I've known M, right? I've always said, you need to really tone down the rhetoric a bit. You need to kind of, meet people where they're at. If you're offended by them and what their choices are, don't be so bombastic and so hurtful in describing things, because it doesn't look good on you. It makes you look like an angry man, Well, I'm not really angry. And then I would try to cover for him. And I would say, everybody, Mark is very expressive and he wears his emotions on his sleeve and he's very passionate about things, but there is anger boiling underneath, there's a hatred for the trans community. There's a hatred for me specifically.
Well, that's why they keep mentioning trans women and how they supposedly abandon their families and all that kind of nonsense,
They get breast augmentations. It's like those burly trans men.
Those big burly, look at this burly trans woman. Look at this. Look at how burly and big I am, everybody. Look at that. That's
Wow.
I'm huge.
Hands to everyone.
What?
Show your hands to everyone, because Mark.
Oh, well. If I go close to the camera, they'll look huge, but
it's
can't really. There's nothing to wait. I'll show you something. Anne Marie. What? Come here. Look, I'll bring my girlfriend's hand over here and I'll show you.
Okay.
Come here. I don't know if I agree to this. I want your hand.
I want your hand.
Put your hand in the camera. Put our hands together. Here, bring it.
Oh no! The genetic woman's hand is bigger than the trans woman's hand.
She's stronger than me. Her hand is bigger than my hand.
Aww.
Her hand is bigger than my hand by a little bit. She's a lot more stronger than I am. She's got bigger feet. She's a size, but you're not. She's not huge. She's not like this huge, gigantic person, but
no.
I'm just, to me, when Maritza says those things, I just laugh and I'm like, it's just a bunch of bullshit,
Well, it really is. And Amy says, I knew a young gay man who tried to harm himself because of someone like M. The young man said that he knew the attraction was not going to go away and that he was possessed by the devil.
See, that's where people are going to start committing suicide and doing really stupid things. And when that happens, it's going to be Maritza's fault. And guess what? Those families aren't going to be too happy when they start watching the videos that's going on. And then what's going to happen? There's going to be a big lawsuit or something like that. And Maritza's going to find themselves behind jail bars or, having to pay a big fine because they're preaching all of this, rhetoric.
Yeah, it's just destructive towards people. I mean, you always want to couch your words with kindness. I mean, you don't want to offend people because even if you are right in what you think you want to tell them, you're not communicating it in a way that's going to get anything across. So it's just a waste of time to tell Justice that she's going to go to hell. It's like,
yeah, it's a waste of time because
you're wasting your breath.
the thing is
me, I'm going to hell. You're wasting your breath because I don't believe in it. I
right.
don't believe in
The
hell.
rules don't apply to me because I don't believe in your nonsense.
Right.
So therefore the rules don't apply to me. So go spread your nonsense to somebody else because I live in the real world. I'm medicated. I don't believe in that stupid shit anymore. And, you know, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
It's fun to listen to. And like I said, there is some good stuff in the Bible and whatnot. And I like some of the stories and whatnot, but I'm not going to base my life decisions off of just one book. I'm sorry. And that doesn't make me a bad person either, because I am reasonable and I am moral, and my morals are based on the people around me and what's good for society. You know, I don't base my morals off of some sky daddy, no offense, some sky daddy that supposedly wants to harm me and do all these horrible things to me if I don't put all of my faith into this thing, you know, that I can't prove exists.
I completely agree with you. I mean, coming from that Christian background myself and just having been indoctrinated with it my whole entire life, you know, and being told even today, if I were to talk to my mom, she'd be like, I just think that you're going to hell, you know. I don't agree with you, you know.
It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, but we have to live life. We have to value what we have now, because the thing is you don't know what happens when you die. And if you just, it's like almost as if they're like saying the grass is greener on the other side. So screw this life, screw everything in this life. You're tiny. I mean, I'm like not huge. That's all I have to say. Amy has size 10 or 11. I'm bigger in frame than most men. I'm flowing with estrogen. Yeah, I'm a size in women's footwear. I have a bigger foot for a woman. I am a size 11, but my girlfriend is a size 12.
Right.
Okay, so that just proves that people just come in different shapes and sizes. All this bullshit with big burly men going into women's restrooms and, you know, all that stupid stuff it's just conspiracy theory stuff. M's rules on what makes a woman is crazy. I have big feet, long arms. I joke I have ape arms. My shoulders are wider than my hips, and I can read maps. I can read maps. Apparently, I'm a dude. Yeah.
Sure. Yep. It's hilarious.
My girlfriend, she's really good with directions too. I can't do directions like my girlfriend can. She can just look at a map and she knows where she's at and she knows where to go. And I'm always lost. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, that's true. But seriously, M's channel should stick to the Lord, etc. But it's a really disturbing channel. Oh, it's a really disturbing channel. They never really talk about God. It's more like anger, disrespectful, finger pointing. Yeah. And they I don't know what they do, but it's like, do they just go off of Reddit or read like right-wing conspiracy theory stuff while they're doing their preaching? Because
her friend, or new best friend, I guess, Fahid, is somehow learned in the Bible or something, and she like basically spoon feeds Maritza information, because Maritza, you got to understand, Maritza does not have the patience to read. She will not sit down and read the Bible. She will only have it, read to her. She doesn't have the tolerance to just look at things like it. She wanted to read to me. She wanted me to read to her the whole Nag Hammadi. And I'm like, I can't do that. My mouth gets tired. I can't, a lot of times you just want to read for yourself, right? You don't really want to read like to enunciate every word. That just would take a month of days. So I'd be reading, and then I'd be like, can you just read this for yourself? Because, reading about, the tablets of Thoth or whatever. I mean, I honestly, it doesn't do it for me to have to read it to you like a little kid. you know?
Mhm.
So I just don't see how what they have to say is anything that really germinates from themselves. It's always like somebody else's opinion, and they somehow turn it into theirs, because it lines up with what they believe.
I feel like I've gone off a little bit. Yet have I seen them preach, it's more like scold and toot their own horn. Yeah. It's always the same thing with what they do. They're obsessed with gender. They continuously talk about it. They don't move forward with what they're preaching. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. And it's always threats of hell. And, oh, the new thing is what are you going to do when you get older? You don't want to be alone. And if you go through a transition, you're just going to end up alone and sad. And it's just like, that's not true.
True. I mean, I know of this wonderful woman that transitioned. Like I said, she's 64. She's going in for a revision next week on her surgery and stuff. And basically, she has a wonderful boyfriend who is going to take her down there. He's a loving, loving man. And he just supports her and loves her and is providing her like an emotional safety and protection that she needs at this time. And she always tells me how, her boyfriend is making all these wonderful like dishes for her and all the things that he's doing for her and stuff. And it's like, that doesn't sound like a person that's alone.
Right.
That sounds like, I've been to this person's home. She's very like eclectic and she collects all kinds of like tea sets and old little vintage, cookware. And that woman is more girly than any girl I would ever. I mean, she is Anne of Green Gables. She is her. So I just, I see her home. I see how she decorates it. She's not fake. She's a real woman, a real person.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's really frustrating is the fact that, Maritza says that, trans women are just these fake people and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't wake up every morning. My agenda, my quote unquote agenda that I supposedly have is not to get up and like pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not. I just live my life, just like everybody else. I just live my life. Oh, I love your name. Oh, I didn't read it.
Sorry. Let me get it back.
I love your name, Justice. You really made my day when you came. Oh, I mean, I'm just a normal person. I'm just a regular, normal person.
Yes, he says, Sherry, too funny. I can't watch more than a few minutes of M or V.
Does Vahid have their own channel too on YouTube?
Yeah, but they only post things with their kid or something like that. Lynna, I'm a gay guy, Richard, but I've told all my trans friends about your channel. By the way, Justice, you're so cute and smart.
Thank you. I mean, I'm average. Okay. I'm average.
Oh, you're just a little shy about that. You're beautiful. My friend here loves you. She just thinks you're adorable. So, yeah. And more adorable, I mean, how can you not be adorable? Look at you. Look at you. That hair all done up all nice and everything. It's so cute.
One hair tie and one clamp.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know 3 long-term trans couples. Hi, Richard. Richard's been very, very sweet to me and very kind, and says if I'm ever in LA, he would love to take me out and, for a good time and stuff like that. But, we don't have dead-end lives, Maritza. Life goes on. Life is beautiful. Life is a joy. Life is worth living. For me now, I don't have to like look behind my shoulder and go, but I had goals. I wanted to do things with my life. It's like, here I am stuck in this house in Silver City, nothing to do, and they're like, all you do is complain. And I'm like, it's not because I'm, I have things that I want to get done. So am I holding you back? I go, yes, you are. And here I am, not even like maybe 4 months removed from being there. And I got these, and I've got my joy back and my life back and my own like ability to be my own woman back. It's
Yeah,
just
you're not a skeleton anymore in the face like
not
you
a
were.
skeleton.
You're able to enjoy a soda pop if you want.
Yeah, I can indulge.
Still in the background. What's still in the background?
That's looking good girl still in the background. Mindful Moose. I had a friend of mine. She is a Native American woman. I visited her actually in Montana, and she has a lot of Native American wisdom, which we in the West don't even understand. Some of the things that they have, experienced and their history and everything. So she comes from a different mindset completely that's like foreign to me and probably foreign to you, but they're very sweet people. Moose is her longtime boyfriend, and they had me stay at their house and stuff, and we went out to eat Chinese, had a great time. So they're real people. So that's really cool. That's the cool thing about my friends. Some of them I actually know them. Isn't that great? Like actually met them face to face. But yep, again, Justice is lighting up the channel today. Lighting it up.
Strawberries.
Yep. So, Justice, I think that you're just beautiful as you are. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You just have a very innocent beauty to you. And I'm sure everyone else would agree with me. And I'm sure that they would be, oh, who does she remind us of? What starlet is she today? I mean, does she look like like a Courtney Cox maybe? Or let me see. I'm trying to and then the side profile, let's see. Maybe people can help. I don't know. But let's see. Oops. Amanda Wadsworth. Hi there from Tasmania.
Oh wow.
And we are not fake. It's just the outside has changed, but we are the same on the inside. That's great. And Amanda, I've talked to her as well. She's a post-op trans woman, and she lives her life. She has a wonderful life. No sadness, no joy, there's joy, and so I mean, it's kind of
ridiculous. What Maritza's doing is Maritza's going off of the the whole suicide rate thing with trans people and trying to use that as an excuse to say that people that are trans are all depressed and miserable and stuff like that, which it's not true. Justice looks like a Hollywood starlet with her updo and drop earrings.
So what movie are you in today? I mean,
I'm in Murdoch Mysteries. I want to be one of those girls.
Oh.
Have you seen Murdoch Mysteries?
What is it?
Murdoch Mysteries.
Murdoch Mysteries. Is that Canadian?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
I was kidding.
It's a murder mystery show, and it's got 12 seasons. Season 12 is coming out, I think, July 30th. And the costumes are just amazing. And I love the Victoria. It's the time frame is I think it's like 1915 or 1912.
Oh, wow.
They have the Victorian dresses and everything and the little hats and all that. I love it.
This is great. Look I literally got this silly name I'm using by randomly opening my old-timey dictionary and putting my finger down on the first two words I opened to.
It's funny.
Ella Chick Nickel Pecker. Nice. Nickel Pecker made me giggle, said Amy. I'm not a person to be in the closet, but this topic was too hot at this time anyway. Enough about me. Absolutely love the reasonable, kind wisdom you two put out. That's great. I'm liking.
I think it's important that we come out and talk about these things because it puts to rest all of these little, rumors and conspiracy theories that Maritza's talking about as far as what happens with people who are, trans or whatnot. I don't know.
And again, Justice is taking over.
I'm the new celebrity.
You're it. It's Justice's life tonight.
Yeah. She is doing what she doing right now for you and your lovely friend.
Yeah, she's just a person behind the scenes, and she does, you know, good things, wishes good thoughts for us. I cannot look at strawberries the same ever again since Justice did that vid. Here's one for you, Lynna.
I know. I don't know where that video is. I think I still have it saved in my computer, but
That was
strawberries.
funny. I didn't know you back then. And I was
I
just,
know.
oh my
I
God,
dedicated that video to you.
this girl is hilarious. Hilarious. I mean, my friend was like, does she have a channel? Does she have a channel? What other videos has she done? And then I was
like flipping out. I was like watching Maritza and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, this person's offensive. This is crazy. I need to say something about this. And I started making all these videos and flying off the handle, really. And I would make them and I'd put them up on YouTube, and then I'd get scared and I'd put them on private, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I want this out there. And what was the dictionary definition of a nickel pecker? Sounds like a fallen drag queen. That's funny.
RuPaul has a new talk show. It's really fun to listen to and watch. It's like free on YouTube, but they're doing like pilot shows and stuff. And they had some really great guests on and everything. And it's just, really neat because it just affirms everybody. And, starts off, he's walking down the runway, and I don't know. It's just really neat.
Have that, though. Don't affirm. We can't have that. Don't affirm these people.
Oh, no.
You got to love them. Here, pick up a lead pipe and hit me with it again. Feels really good. Oh, but I love you. But keep hitting me with that lead pipe. I love you, but remember to love yourself too.
Yeah.
Hey, you two. On YouTube, there was a show that lasted 7 seasons called Where the Bears Are. It was corny but cute. Why don't you two start a show like that, but in trans format?
We could do something. Definitely. We have to come up with an idea for what we're going to call it. Apparently, it should be called Justice's Hairdo.
Something. Something like that.
And Lynna, too.
And Lynna, too. Don't forget Lynna's life. We're on Lynna's life right now.
Oh, yes, Lynna's life. People ask me, why, Lynna? Why are you so public about your life? Why are you telling people all the dirty laundry about you? Don't you think that it's not beneficial to you? Don't you think that people can use it against you? And ever since I transitioned, I have been on YouTube, and probably more like a cathartic thing for me, because I lost everybody. And the only people that were, speaking into my life or connecting with me were those that were watching my YouTube videos in the past. And I really, I was sharing everything. I didn't mince any words. I didn't cover anything up. And I could be, my pre-transition self at sometimes, because I had to see my kids and I was being forced to do that. Or I would just, be living in Minnesota when I was living there. But I mean, it didn't matter. I was just trying to share my life. And I just think that it's okay for certain people, if they want to be able to be public about things, to be able to share with the world what is true for a trans woman, for a person that deals with these kinds of things, because a lot of times the older generation is of the belief that, oh no, you need to just keep your junk alone here. Don't talk about it. Let's just, and it's because when they transition, it was so like, if you get caught, you get killed, basically, So they have that whole thought pattern of like, I need to be stealth, because if I'm not, I could get in a lot of trouble, for being me. But I feel like those individuals, they suffer because they suffer in silence. They can't express themselves. They can't be honest with themselves, because it's like they've had to hide their biggest truth, and it's really sad in a way, because they want community, but they're at risk of feeling like they're going to be exposed if they do, right? But I think that there's a bridge that we can make between that older generation and the younger generation, and even the younger generation, to help everybody, to help everybody, because I think that there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from these older women who transitioned years ago under the face of such hatred and trying to just live their lives and stuff like that. There wasn't anything about like being out and proud and waving a flag. I mean, that, and I'm still not that person myself.
I don't do that either. I don't wave flags around or
I don't even like the transgender flag. I think it's ugly personally. I don't like the colors, but
yeah,
that's my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, look at somebody said justices. Oh, hairstyle reminds me of Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Wow, high praise.
I have to tell you all though, my girlfriend helped me with my hair. I didn't do it all by myself. She helped me. So.
Well, it is the star.
Yeah. I'm sure it's costly and takes time, but think about it or pitch it to the guys who did that show. It's just a thought. Be nice to see it.
I don't know. I don't know what that show's format's about, but we have a very limited budget, which is like
zero. Yeah.
And but we have time, so we could come up with something. And I don't know, like if we got together,
it's evolving,
and if we did like skits or things like that and we had them recorded or whatever, I don't know what that show's about, but I'll look it up on YouTube and see what it's all about. Oh, and Sherry says, I agree on the Audrey Hepburn look. Oh. It's justice love. Oh, oops. I kind of went backwards. I think the definition was the type of a woodpecker, and Elichick was also a bird of some sort. So yeah, her name. ESC says, RuPaul would be an example of a depressed gay person. I know.
I think that was a joke, like, because RuPaul doesn't seem like they're depressed unless they go home and are depressed, and then they're not depressed when they're on camera.
So jovial, so happy all the time. My ex went after RuPaul too.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, something, yeah. So it's like they're always having a bone to pick with somebody. The latest was with a therapist that was Jazz Jennings' personal therapist.
Oh, right.
That he used to work with, a professional person that he used to work with, in promoting transgender ideology and teaching seminars and training people and medical doctors and stuff. And this person is just a very accomplished therapist, and has helped lots of young trans identifying kids and everything, and other adults and stuff. I had the opportunity to meet her once. She is super sweet, this little thing in a hat, and she's just gorgeous. And she always says, blessings, love, love, love. And she just basically said, don't judge. Love, 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 blessings. Big, long 6-paragraph dissertation on Maritza's Facebook page to just expose these liars. I mean, people that they worked with, people that were really like supportive and helpful to them. And it's really sad because, this woman doesn't deserve that. She's done to help,
Maritza's just doing it to get popular. That's what they're doing.
So let me see, mindful moves. Do you really want to know what she is doing? I don't know. You know how I'm about all this stuff that's going on. I mean, some of that stuff just goes, over my head, you know. It's like, but Amanda says, in Tasmania, we've had a bill passed the state government. I do not have to have the gender on the birth certificate, and we lot out forever. I'm not sure, forever our gender in Australia. So I don't know. I guess the Equality Act passed the House. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think
Is that something that passed in the United States, or is that just in the UK?
I think it was in the United States. There was an Equality Act. I'm not a political person at all, so I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
But, you know, they were like really on the warpath with that. They're like, and you guys, you need to really wake up, Christians, because if you let these people take over, you know, and you know what, you gay people, if you guys get your way, we're just going to go to your gay bar and we're going to have a Bible study there. How about that? And I'm like thinking, well, gee, isn't that Christ-like to just like not want to like minister to people and have a Bible study for a reason that would be beneficial to people or something, but just to get under their skin and to make a point?
They think that there's an agenda going on with the LGBTQ, and there is no agenda going on. It's just a label for a group of people. Today, I decided to wear a dress today. I have this dress, and it's been sitting in my closet forever, and I bought it at a thrift store, and I thought, today I'm going to wear a dress, and I had an appointment to go to see my psychiatrist. So I was like, yeah, I'll wear my dress today and I'll look nice for once and stuff like that. So
for one,
at least I'm not wearing a Victorian dress, because I thought about buying a Victorian dress online.
We should talk and then we'll both kind of get dressed for the show.
I would.
Period.
I mean,
we're doing 60s night. We're doing 70s night.
I want to do Victorian tea night.
Okay.
I want to wear a Victorian dress, and I want my hat. Ooh. And I want to have tea and biscuits.
Tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
You two are definitely a team. I can really see us doing a lot, you know, because we really do complement each other as far as, you know, just personalities and stuff like that. I respect you and your opinions and things, and you respect me and mine.
I respect you and everything too.
So you see, it was irony. RuPaul has been an example of a positive, encouraging role model for many people. Yeah, RuPaul has been a very significant person in you know, in the LGBT for a long time.
With the agenda going on.
The agenda.
The agenda. We're trying to take over the world. Not that there's a church on every corner and they have all the major like network stations and stuff like that, and they have 24 hours a day, you know, ministering going on and stuff like that. I mean, we're just a small group of people.
Oh yeah.
I knew RuPaul in New York City before he was famous. Ru likes to be called he. He is a drag queen, not trans. Yeah.
And he's proud of it.
I think I knew that. Yeah. I don't really keep up with the LGBTQ news stuff. I don't.
So yeah, but it's like RuPaul, I mean, hasn't had any breast augmentation or anything like that. I mean, just hasn't had any surgeries. I mean, they're just, you know, expressing as art, you know, in a feminine manner, you know, but definitely goes home and loves being a man, you know.
Yeah.
Loves being with men. So, I mean,
all in the name of love, right? Yeah, if you go to that channel, I mean, I was depressed all day yesterday. I was more upset based off what they were saying, and I couldn't shake it for the entire day. And I thought to myself, I am not going to. How about a hat? I want one of those little hats. What are those hats called? Anne Marie. She's not around. I don't know what they're called, but what do they call the hats that they wear in Murdoch Mysteries? Okay. She's like, they call them hats.
Oh, wow. Now we're getting flirted with two very attractive people. Much love. I just put them out there. You've lost your first wife, your second husband, your kids, and your job. Was it worth it? Honest question.
Well, that was brave.
Oh, wow. So I would love to answer that. Okay.
Was it worth it? Is it worth living? Is it worth living?
First of all, the first wife is a dear person to me still, is a person that I care for immensely. And it's really sad that we don't have a relationship, but it's really a lot more complicated than you would just throw like that one sentence in a big old, it's like you wadded up a big mean statement, just hurled it up against the wall. But I'll answer it. I will. So I wanted, my ex-wife to understand, what was going on with me. So I was straightforward and honest with her. And she knew way back that I had dealt with things of my gender. And, we tried, we really did. And we had a successful marriage for a while, but it really is something that is sad. It's sad for her. It's sad for me. It's sad for our kids. I didn't lose my second husband. Well, I've only had one husband. Literally, I had one wife. So my husband, actually, he presented himself to be one thing, but he was something else. And on top of that, everybody, whoever watches the videos that we did together, can see very much that he was a controlling and abusive person. So I would let the court of, opinion decide on that. But, that my kids, now that's real personal. And that's really hurtful for you to even go there with me, because my kids mean a lot to me. And I have tried, and God knows how much I've tried. Mark knows how much I've tried. But you know what? Honestly, I really do think that there is light at the end of this tunnel, because I now have the opportunity to give to my kids something that I wasn't able to give them before, which is some kind of financial assistance and the ability for them to know that I'm still here and that I still love them. So if all I can do is send my son occasionally money, through his account, and, be able to help him out in college, then I feel like I've done, a lot, being able to connect with him and to continue to connect with him. But my heart is invested in my children. And I know that this story is far from being written off, and it's not over yet, because I will hug my kids one day. I will enjoy my kids one day. I know that. And my job actually wasn't lost. I don't know where you're getting your information, but my job wasn't lost. I got hurt. I got injured, and I'm still injured from an injury that broke my C134 and T7, fractured it, So I live. But would I like to work as a camera operator again? Would I like to do what I used to do? I would love to do that. And, if I could, I would, honestly. But no, I didn't lose my job. I don't know where you're getting your information from. And is it worth it? It's worth it to be happy, functioning, normal, and a loving person. I was losing myself, before I transitioned. And now that I'm transitioned and living my life, and hopefully my kids, as they age, they can get out from underneath the religious juggernaut that they've been brought up under, and they too can enjoy being able to accept people and love people. So yeah, it's an honest question, but honestly, it's rude. It's a rude question, you know. And
I'm
but
sorry.
I've had people say this stuff like forever and ever.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, is it worth it?
Is it worth living? Is it worth being happy with your life? You know, sometimes things happen, and unfortunately, some things happened.
I don't need any donations. I'm not asking for anything. I don't need a Phoenix van, cruiser.
Where is Phoenix at?
Phoenix, no, a Phoenix. That's what Maritza wants, a Phoenix van, some type of RV or something. And I'm like,
Right.
I want to live in an RV. Please don't send me anything.
Maritza wants to make money off of the believers and travel the world in an RV.
Oh, yeah. Saw your old content on the trans radio show. You look happy now. Yeah, well, definitely happy. And ESC says the second husband said he was not a man and not a husband. Yeah. I don't know what I married actually. I think I married a tranny chaser woman. That's really weird though, to say that they're a tranny chaser
They're a
woman.
trans man. They're just not taking testosterone and they're identifying as a woman now, and that's fine. They can identify how they want.
And then
yeah, you handled that pretty well.
Honestly, I'm in the process of gaining my family back. I've been in, I had a very hard conversation with my sister. It was very difficult to hear what she had to say on Saturday. But, she called me, she texted me on Tuesday, and we had a 5-hour long conversation. And I would just like to say that, anything is possible, And one of the things that's very difficult is for a sibling like my sister to process having another sister. It just doesn't, the family dynamics don't work like that, because when we were raised, I wasn't raised as her little sister. It would have been a different entire way of life, right? Because moms and dads and little girls and their, little boy, little girl, or two little girls, a bit different. So I am willing to give my sister the space to get to know me and to understand, what I've been through, and to understand that my present person that I am now is just as relevant, just as real as the person that she used to, know as a child, So I think it's very interesting though, because the opportunity to experience, the ability to accept and love something that you didn't understand before is there for her. I'm a person. I'll still always be her little brother, right? Because that's what a big sister is. They have little brothers, they have little sisters. So that's okay. As long as she doesn't go with me to the store and say, "Hey, brother," But if it's between us, we can share that. That's all personal. That's family. That's what siblings do. So I just think that it's really a neat opportunity. My sister and I had a long conversation. We are both obviously hurt by how we were raised, and people are hurting because hurt parents raise hurt kids. My parents were basically raised on their own. My dad was like 2 steps from the rainforest, and my mom was raised in a family of nine. Okay, and she was sent off culturally in Puerto Rico. They would send off some of the girls to go live with other people because there was too many and they can't afford it, So my mom's dealing with all these issues. So there's just a lot.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing with my mom. I have to let her try to slowly move into it and accept me for who I am. And if she wants to call me by, the name that she gave me, And if she wants to refer to me as, her son and stuff like that around me, then I have to allow her that in order to accept me.
And I think that's important, I mean, let's give them the space
Mhm.
to be able to, well, for one, grieve. Obviously, they grieve, but also to get to know the person that we are, because if they just want to shun us away, they'll never know who we are. You know what I mean? And they'll just constantly be living in the past and thinking, the past thoughts and everything. And that's not going to benefit anybody for, being able to have a relationship in the now and in the present, So it's really an opportunity for them to be able to love
Yep.
unconditionally. That's what we present as transitioning, people. We present with them an opportunity for them to either grow and accept us or deny and reject us. And they can go through the stages of grief for a long time,
Mhm.
but eventually they're going to find their way out of it. And as long as we can at least hold out for them and give them the opportunity to know that we're always there, even if they don't understand, so it's almost like, no matter what, you're still there, so they just, I don't know, it's hard, it really is. I my heart goes out to, my ex, and the things that she's had to deal with raising kids on her own. That's tough. I mean, my kids have been able to um, thrive and stuff, which is beautiful. They never lost the family house, so that was beautiful as well. I would be racked with guilt if they ever had to leave the house because on account of me, But even when I was transitioning and living in Minnesota and not living at the house, I was sending half of my income to the house and on top of that, I was paying the mortgage. So that was something that I felt that was imperative for me to do. But I just really think that, there's a lot of lessons for us to all learn, and on both sides of the fence,
Yep.
you know. So I don't want to, after you embarrassed, this person just wants to jab. After you embarrassed your sister publicly on YouTube. Well, actually, what I did do was just explain what happened, and I was hurt. So this was Lynna's life, and that's what I shared at the time. And I've since pulled it, honestly, because I didn't think it was necessary to be up there, since some of the things that I said could be hurtful to my sister. And we're working on it. We are, but it doesn't help, Jessica, to just jab. I mean, that doesn't do anything, but I'm not going to get angry with you. I'm just, I'm a personal, I'm an introspective person. And, when I get off the air, I may feel very hurt and go off and maybe go try to find a quiet place of contemplation. But other than that, I'm not gonna throw stones at you. Life is too short. Sorry, Justice.
No, you needed
know,
to say it. You needed to get it out and explain what's going on and whatnot. And they're probably just being honest with their questions, and they're just kind of coming off a little bit rude, but that's what happens. I don't think that a troll is going to bother either Lynna or Justice. They're both are settled in who they are and what their values are. Yeah.
that's the truth. I mean, it's like, I just say, look at us. We're doing fine.
Yeah.
Honestly. We're both attractive women. We both have total confidence in ourselves and who we are. We own our own selves. And whatever you see is what you see. And that is your opinion. But, when I walk out the door, I don't get yelled at. I don't get laughed at. I don't get scoffed at. I don't get, I don't. So all those things that, people would want to say about us and all this stuff about burly men and, in the bathrooms and stuff. I mean, look at
Burly men.
look at Justice. My gosh. I mean, I'm bigger boned, obviously, but look at
Do I look like a threatening person? I mean, give me a break.
I know.
Maritza makes it seem like people like us are these threatening people.
Yeah. And there's no need to throw mud at people. There's no need, I'm not gonna like Jessica Thomas, you're out of here. Somebody get her banned, don't let her come back ever again. It's like you're welcome to come back whenever you want.
You are RCCC.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I just think that I've been through way too much to let some random person.
I don't think that Jessica is Maritza. I think that they're just somebody who probably watches both channels.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't bother me.
They're just questions, but they're a little invasive, but
well, look, she says I apologize, and those questions about my children are very invasive. And I would just say, would you want someone to say that to you? Would someone want to be told something like that? If that's not something that you would want to be told about you, then why do you think it'd be appropriate to tell me? I mean, yeah.
It isn't a sincere inquiry. It is an effort to shame or make a public judgment of Lynna. To what end? Yeah.
It is what it is, but like I said, I've had a channel since 2014 and I've heard it all. I mean, I was told, you're going to like, live like a broken life for the rest of your life, and all your tranny friends, you guys going to live out of a dumpster. And it's like, please.
All of your tranny friends, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just all you're friends with. You're not friends with other people. You're just friends with tranny friends.
I never even went to a tranny support group or whatever they want to call it.
I've gone to them and I wasn't very pleased with what I've went to. It just didn't fit me.
No, it didn't fit me either. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think I understand like what Jessica is saying. So
the initial comment was not an inquiry. It was an intent to provoke, to provoke something, because they know that anyone who knows me knows that where my weakest points are, and my metal is not very strong where it comes.
I'll be your shield for you. I'll be your shield.
Yeah. So I think, I think it's great that people are able to ask questions, Yeah.
I think we're over it though. I think
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or like Justice said, someone going to both channels, moving along your yeah, people are going to ask questions and stuff like that, and we're on live and everybody's watching, and people watch your channel, Lynna, and then people go and watch Maritza's, so they're going to ask questions, and
that's great. It's just
but the good thing is that you can actually explain yourself and tell it how it is, honestly, and with sincerity, which is good.
And I hope that I've been able to answer questions for her, as painful as it's been, just a shield.
I have the sword, I have the scales, and I have the shield.
Nice. So you're gonna be like superhero Saturday one
I'm
day.
the Ashbringer.
The ass bringer. That
Yep.
means like the ass handler or the ass deliverer or something. It's like, yeah. So,
Ass handler. Thank you.
well, it's like
You're so funny.
handle your stuff, right?
I
It's like
had somebody call me ass bringer. Yeah.
ass
I went to
bringer.
I went to court once and they purposely left out the B and they just it said ass bringer or something like that. I don't know. They misspelled it on purpose.
Oh yeah. Is it too early to go shopping for summer clothing, or do you have to wait until doctor's advice?
What is that? I don't understand.
No, no, she's asking
Oh, for about your surgery.
about my surgery.
Oh, you can go shopping.
Yeah, I can go shopping. We almost went shopping, but we didn't have enough time. So I have a date with Macy's in the future. Not to buy things. I just go to try things on and stuff because
Watch out for those burly men in the dressing rooms.
oh yeah,
Watch out.
I scared so many women at VS today. They were just so like, "Is that a man?"
Is that
It's like no. It's like, oh hi. It's like
Yep.
there is nothing to see here, folks. So I just, I'm looking forward to being able to shop, but my kind of shopping is not going to be like at those expensive stores. I'd rather just, go to like Salvation Army or Habitat for Humanity. They always have really cool things. But I did have to get my VS bra, because it
Of
was
course. Is it a push-up at all? Or you don't need a push-up, but is it a push-up?
no,
No?
it's just it's a t-shirt bra, they call it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
used to fit bras. I
Super.
used to work for a place and I fitted bras, so
You did?
yeah,
Oh
a
wow.
while ago, a long while ago.
They started off doing like she gave me a 36D and it just didn't feel right, and then she dropped it down to like a 38B and that didn't feel right. So then like Goldilocks 38C was perfect.
So it's a 38C.
It's a 38C.
Yeah.
Mhm. So oh wait. I need summer clothing. I gained weight, not in my boobies like Lynna, and I need new flowy clothes. I wish you were in New York City, Lynna. We have the best bargains. Oh, I love New York City. You know how much I love it. Have you ever been in New York City?
I haven't.
Oh man.
I used to live close to New York when I was in the Air Force. I lived about 3 hours away from there, but I never actually went and visited. I was always too busy.
Where was your Air Force base?
Dover Air Force Base in Delaware.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. So
I used to be a big burly mechanic.
oh yeah. You just
I worked on C-5 cargo jets.
oh wow.
They carry tanks and equipment and stuff like that, and they fly it over the seas and they drop it off in the desert for the troops.
Wow.
Yep.
Hi from Long Beach, California. I used
I
to
like the picture. Look at that.
Yeah, I grew up like about, if there's no traffic, it was like 20 minutes to Long Beach on the 22. Yeah, the freeway. So yeah, it was California is like a long distant memory for me, but because I left like in 1994, California. But
I was 14.
you were born there?
No, I was 14 in 1994.
You were 14.
I missed the 90s.
Because you were born in 1980?
Yep.
Wow. So you're just a youngin'. It's beautiful though. I'm so happy that you were able to transition so early to enjoy your life. you know?
Yeah, it just kind of came naturally.
That's great. How long
I
have
started transitioning at 33. The Freemason number. I'm a Freemason too. No,
you?
I'm joking. I started my transition at 33. So what? It's been, thank you. I try. So what has it been, like 6 years, almost 7 years now?
So what date? What was the year?
So 33 was when I started hormones.
Okay. So
So
we've been transitioning about the same time,
yeah,
2014.
2013.
What month? Do you know the day?
I think May.
Oh, so you're older. You're older
Yeah.
transitioning.
I'm an older tranny.
Yeah, you're the older tranny. Exactly. Because I transitioned in November 12th of 2013. That's when I went to get my hormones.
11, 12, 13.
11,
Nice.
12, 13. That's why I never forget it.
Yeah.
It's like on 11, 12, 13, I had my first injection of estradiol. And
I
that's
remember taking my first pill. I was like, see you later. And I just like downed it.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, see, look at that. It's
Oh, cool.
it's out there for you too. Did you see that?
We could go together.
Yes.
We could go on a trip together.
That would be so fun, wouldn't it?
Next year, I'm probably going to have a house and you're
Oh,
invited.
well, I want to go to your Pride event in your town.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty
I mean,
big.
I'm not a big Pride person, but
Are you sure you want to go to a satanic event like that?
I went to one last year, and there was this woman that was like, she was like offended by these Bible toting, sign carrying, religious zealots, right? So she's like, hey, let's just go up there and hug, and I was like, yeah, let's do. So we were like hugging in front of their sign, and they're like, it's like, isn't it nice that people can, just share a hug, and share love between two women, you know, and they're like, all right, all right, all right.
Right. They probably started calling you bad words and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let me see. No, they have to come to New York City first. I called them first. So we have to go to New York.
Ticket together.
Girl, we need to go to New York.
I'd be so scared. Oh my God. I've never been in such a crowded place.
Oh, girl, it is so fun. I mean, do you like Broadway at all?
Sure. I'm down.
Oh, you get discount tickets
Really?
for Broadway shows. Yeah.
Oh.
It was one of the places where
I know I'd get a military discount.
oh, awesome. So we could go off of your military discounts.
Probably.
That's cool. So
they honor military discounts on the East Coast like mad.
Oh yeah.
They don't even do anything like that on the West Coast.
No, they don't.
Not really. No, they never ask.
How do you love your twins? Honestly, having the twins is like, now it's like the most like present part of my body. It's like, hello, here we are. Good morning, Lynna. And it's like so like unavoidable. It's like you move your arms and there they are. You raise your hands and there they are. It's like, wait a second, So it's a great feeling. Really, it really is. It feels like I always had them, but they were submerged.
Yep.
And now that I have them, they're so welcome. I love them. I just think they're awesome. Because gosh, it's such a wonderful symbol of womanhood. And I just, I'm just a new kid on the block. So you're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just
laughing. You're going.
I'm experiencing your joy. That's all. I know how you feel.
It's such a
when you were talking about that, I was imagining myself like whenever I don't want to get too graphic, but like when I take a shower, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow.
Wow, it's right.
That's going to be fuel for somebody. Oh, they just care about their looks.
It is. It's going to be. But, any woman cares
It
about
matters.
looks. You know, I know some guys that spend more time in the mirror than most women. You know, I mean, you go to a bodybuilding gym, guys are constantly looking at themselves
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're flexing, you know,
Cisgendered guys, too.
big time. Yeah,
Yep.
cisgender
Cis. Those sissies.
sissies.
Yeah.
And it's all labels, you know,
Yep.
cis, trans, you know, it's like, how about
We're
just human beings? How
we're all
about
just people. We're all just people. Mr. Atheist, apparently there is a new hate group that is a Baptist church bigger and as nasty as that other family that is now defunct. The South, what is it? The Southern Baptist Church. They are horrible.
I worked for them?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They never spoke to me again. And then
Oh,
that
Mr. Atheist is a YouTube channel, I think. Is that what they were talking about?
Mr. Atheist, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess Mr. Atheist
Here they are.
apparently, oh, because Mr. Atheist let people know that there's a new hate group. Look at her
Oh,
smile. It lights up.
what?
Your smile just lights up the internet.
Oh.
You were like smiling at your girlfriend. And
Yeah, I was feeding her watermelon.
she is so cute. So yeah, I just, you know, I just think that it's important for people to understand that we don't live broken lives. You know, we're happy, we're functioning, and you know, there's nothing but love. You know, and my friend has introduced me to several people, and they know my past and they know why I was getting the surgery, but they've been so kind. You know, every single person, and they're not lesbian or gay or trans or anything, but you know, people, there are people that get it.
They're normal.
Hmm. There are people that get it and they understand and they accept, you know, because at the end of the day, we're just human beings, you know, that want to be loved. You know, I'm sure you want your mom's love, you know, I'm sure that's something that, you know, it's difficult for them, but it's what we would want. You know, I would want my mom to, you know, I know she loves me. I know that, but I think they just, my mom's 86. I don't know. How old is your mom?
My mom is, gosh, she's in her 60s.
Oh my God.
She's young. How is your mom so old?
Well, how? She,
Yeah.
you know, she was 36.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think my mom is like 65 or 64.
Does
I
she look
think.
like you?
Yeah.
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 So
Even before I transitioned, I look like my mom.
two Audrey Hepburns?
Yeah.
Wow. So Misty comes in and says, "Hey ladies, just now catching your show."
Oh, we've been on for a couple hours now.
Yeah, 2 hours and 13 minutes and 37, 8, 9, 10. So there's 15 viewers right now.
Oh, cool.
We've had up to like 27, I think, at one point.
Oh, really? Nice.
So
That's pretty good.
I think if I advertise it, you know, beforehand, we may get more people to watch.
Yeah, you can advertise it on your Facebook if that's what you do. I don't have a Facebook, so the
Yeah,
religious right has some very scary people. Yeah.
yeah, they really do. You know, I mean, there's a lot of kooks and crazies out there. So let me see. Oh, Amy says,
Wow.
crazy. Wow, that is. Hey, Lynna, I forwarded your live link now to Reverend Alex Escoto from the MCC Church in Hollywood on Prospect Avenue.
Oh,
We have a lot of trans men, women who attended church, regular, real church. So we can pass to the trans congregation. Wow. So we may get an influx of people to come watch, you know?
That'd be really neat.
Yeah. So,
Gotta
are
stretch my
you
leg.
getting chilled?
Oh.
Is it warm there, or you guys are?
I was sitting cross-legged and I started to get a cramp.
Oh, so do you do yoga?
I've done yoga. I'm not currently doing yoga. I have a yoga mat though.
You do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
tried doing yoga and I got really it really beat me up.
it did.
Yeah. I'm out of shape. I'm not really in shape, so it's
Oh,
something I need to work on.
that's okay.
Yeah.
There's this one um, uh, woman that is of trans experience, and she has a channel. Her name is Marty Piornek.
I've seen Marty before. Yeah.
Marty is super cool. She's really, really sweet.
She lives in Canada, I think.
She does. She lives on Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
And my friend and I were talking about going to visit her in Canada and, you know, meeting her, because my friend, she's 64 and Marty's like 56. But, you know,
Marty, I think, is not on any hormone or anything like that.
no,
Yeah, she
she had
stopped
the surgery back in 92.
What's that?
She had the surgery back in 92.
Yeah, but she's not taking hormones or anything.
Neither is my friend, the 64-year-old woman. She's not taking them either.
Yeah, I don't think you actually. Well, I guess after a certain point, you don't need them.
Well, there's no testosterone being produced by your body.
Yeah.
So, can you let some of the viewers know what it's like to be post-op?
Sure. What kind of questions do you have? Like,
Well,
start?
one of the questions would be, you know, they always talk about, you know, always like in derogatory terms of how, you know, dysfunctional your body is now.
It's functional. It's a functional vagina. It doesn't. I don't want to get real graphic, but it doesn't get like there's lubrication, but it's not enough to have intercourse.
Right.
I feel kind of weird talking about it. So you have to use
Lubrication of some sort.
Yeah, right. In order to, if you want to have sex, just like a trans man would have to use lubrication
Right.
if they wanted to have sex. It looks and feels. I mean, I have feeling and everything down there. It looks just like any other vagina looks. With the, you know, on the outside, it looks just like any other vagina. On the inside, there's a little bit of differences because it is reconstructed.
Yeah.
But everything is functional. There's feeling down there. It's not a mutilation like people call it or anything like that. I mean, I stood in the shower with a girlfriend of mine, and she was like, "Holy cow, it's like you were born with it." And I was like, "Maybe it's Maybelline." But yeah, it's
an awesome feeling to just, you know, it's something that I longed for, but I mean,
smooth like a vase. The water runs down me and just glides. Nothing stops it from gliding down. It's, you know, yeah, it is a good feeling. The thing that I really like about it is I can wear dresses and not be afraid that anything's going to show. If the wind blows against me or anything like that. I can wear like normal bathing suits. I have a bikini that I wear. I don't have to worry about, you know, tucking or anything like that. So that's really nice. And then your overall like confidence is higher.
Yeah, I imagine, you know, I know that getting augmentation has done that for me to a certain degree, but I can only imagine what it is like to have everything completed, you know.
I mean, I can go into the fitting rooms and the locker rooms and change and not feel like distressed or anything like that, or feel like I'm invading anyone's private spaces, like, so I don't
That's
know.
cool.
What other questions do you have? Does anyone have questions for me in the chat?
Yeah, if anybody has questions for a real live post-op trans person that's, been through life and is actually thriving, not, not depressed, not living in pain and, sorrow
Yeah.
and sadness.
And the
But
thing is, here's another thing. I'm not sexually active. I don't look for sex or anything like that. I'm not like, I don't get like, I don't have that urge that I
mhm.
used to have before I transitioned, which I'm really glad that that's gone. And it's no longer something that's always on my mind. So
What was on your mind before?
a lot of the times, yeah,
I
I,
heard that, that males have this insatiable desire for sex,
it
right?
was horrible. I mean, it was just like to the point where, ugh. And then after I transitioned and I had a orky first before I had the surgery
Right.
because I was worried about, I didn't want to take blockers anymore. And, I didn't want my I didn't want to regress backwards if I forgot to take my blockers
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. So I had an orky done. And then I'm 1 year, I'm about a year and a half post-op now.
Oh, wow.
So
A year and a half.
yeah, it takes a year to heal. So
Yeah. So basically, like your actual drive really became non-existent.
gone. It's different now. Like if anything were to happen in the sex category, someone would have to initiate it on me in order for me to like feel like interested at all. I'm no longer the one trying to initiate and go after and stuff like that. And it's a really big relief for me. So
Wow. Honestly, I know people are going to say, well, Lynna, you had five, and all that, but I
I
wasn't
should have
really,
had 10.
what?
With the sex drive that I had before I transitioned, I should have had 10 kids.
Yeah.
I just got lucky. That's all. It was just luck.
Yeah. Well,
So,
for me, it was never like that. I mean, I remember, I was telling my friend just the other day, I was like really disappointing to to my wife at the time because we went on a honeymoon and she was expecting like, a hot time, right? And there was nothing that happened. I was just all like into the activities on the cruise ship and going to the different places on the islands and all that. And, we ended up buying a timeshare, I think it was in, in St. Martin or something. And it was definitely not something that was ever prominent in my life, ever, really. And I've never really had a sex drive, like a sex drive would be, because I remember sitting in church one morning and the pastor was talking about the taboo subject of sex, right? And he said, now, men, we all know that we think like about sex every 15 seconds. And I looked over to my wife and she's like, not you. And I'm like, no, not me. It was hard. It was hard for me to even want to be intimate. I didn't like it. So I feel really bad because I know that that's something that lacked in her life. And for a lot of years, she thought that she was like not capable of, being excitable enough or sexy enough or pretty enough or whatever. And then when she found out that it was my gender issues, she's like, oh my gosh, all these years I've been thinking it was me, but it was you. I go, I'm so sorry. Really, I am. I apologize. But, I was never a sexual person. So, I mean, so for me, sex can take it or leave it, honestly.
yeah, it dispels the the big conspiracy theory that people like us are these sex addicts and like that's all we are looking for is sex and stuff. It's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
There is no sex drive. My need for sex is zero for the most part.
Yeah. I'd rather cuddle, be held, have a great, connection, kissing. I love kissing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but, come on. It's so overrated.
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
it's so I just think that the stereotypes don't fit. They really don't.
No.
No, you're talking about a she-male that wants to have sex with guys and, lives in a tranny bar. Like, my ex picked up a person who worked at a tranny bar and did lap dances, and all that. Then that's different, but I wasn't her. I wasn't that person. I was just, at the time before I got in my accident, I was just still just living, working and trying to, exist. That was it, but it's crazy how the stereotypes seem to be like, it's almost like, transparent. They could have picked a much more passable trans woman to be the part, right? But they had to pick Maura, and look like an old man in a wig, and it's like, that's not how everybody lives, I mean, I went to breakfast the other day with a woman that transitioned. She's beautiful, radiant. You would never know. She works for Boeing. She has a job. She makes a lot of money, and she transitioned on the job. She's super smart and super successful. So and she was actually at this breakfast that I had with my other friend and my other two friends that were not trans, with her niece. So we all were, there was nothing weird. It was just a girls' day, girls' breakfast, and I mean, nobody would have thought anything,
Yeah.
So it's really sad when the stereotypes dominate, who they think we are.
Yeah.
And the junk gets out, and then they latch it on to Christians and their ideology of like, gay is sin and God's going to kill you if you do this and that, and Sodom and Gomorrah. If you wanted to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah, if you were to read the actual account in the Bible, it has nothing to do with homosexuality and same-sex attraction. What it does have to do with is that there were people at the city gate that the city residents were ignoring, and they were leaving, and they weren't feeding and taking care of these people. They were just very selfish and apathetic towards the needs of others. And that was, if you're going to believe something, that's the reason, because it says later in the Old Testament, in another book in First Kings, that, that God destroyed that city because of its apathy, not because they were gay, not because they were, hetero, like homosexuals that were wanting to gang rape, But then if you want to talk about the most disgusting thing also is the fact that the guy who was holding these people, these two, what were angels, right, in the story, angels that, look like men, that they were actually being told that, hey, you don't have to take these guys. I'll let you take, Lot was telling them, I'll let you take my two virgin daughters for you to gang rape and do whatever you want with them. That was like supposed to be right or something. That Lot was supposed to be able to feel good about giving his daughters up in that way to be destroyed by these men, right? But that's not what they were after. These guys in the story, if you want to believe that, is that these were angels. They were supernatural beings, and they had powers that they probably thought that if they connected with these individuals, that maybe they could get the power that they had, so those stories are so twisted. To think that that's anything having to do with gay sex or homosexuality is just a real far stretch, because that's not even what the Bible says. So it's twisted.
Yep.
It really is. It's twisted. And that's what a lot of times Christians do. They twist things to make people feel horrifically bad about themselves, and that they need to go to the foot of the cross and nail their sin, you know. So
Walk with your cross. Yeah.
yeah, you need to pick up your cross and follow me, is what the Bible says. But fact is, even in culture, there was no account of a Roman cross. Crucifying people on a Roman cross wasn't even something the Romans did. They put people on stakes and they had them lying down the street like dogs. You know, they didn't have any respect for anybody. They just threw them up there on a naked pole and had the animal carcasses, had them eaten by the animals, and made an example for the city's people to look at and go, oh my gosh, we can't behave this way or else we'll get thrown up on a stake too. So
that's crazy.
Crosses up on a hill. It's so romantic. I've been up there actually. It's so funny. We went up there and I was working with a Christian organization with the Southern Baptists. And we went to the place where Calvary was, where the crosses stood, the hill, Golgotha, they call it, the place of the skull. So it's now a Muslim cemetery. We were able to get access to go up there. I'm telling you, if I ever was to feel something, a connection, it was just a stump of land, meaningless, ugly stump of land overlooking a bus stop, a bus depot. It was nothing. There was no goosey feelings in my heart. There was nothing, that was there. I just didn't,
That's
So,
crazy.
But yeah. Jessica says, what I find ironic is how trans women try to fit into the stereotype of what a woman should be, whereas biologically born women were trying to get out of the stereotype.
Some do.
Some do. It just depends on where they're at, emotionally and the maturity level.
Yeah, it just depends on where they're at in their transition and whatnot. I agree.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I'm
a feminist in a way too, and whatnot, and I think that the patriarchy should go down as well.
Sherry's a lesbian, and she obviously disagrees, but that's the reason that we're here, is that everybody can have a different opinion and everybody's going to be respected.
Right. We don't block people for the most part unless it's really bad.
And I think that there's a real gift that cis women offer society. I think the world would be a better place if women were allowed to be more in charge of things, because I think that men would tend to use the sword and to use power, and just strength to overtake people. And that's why we have so many wars in the world. That's why we're always fighting. If a woman was in charge, you wouldn't have as many wars. You wouldn't have all the fighting. You would have somebody that would want to, connect with people, talk it out, be able to reason, but it's really sad.
I work in a male-dominated field, and I'm constantly doubted. They think because I'm a woman that I won't be able to do the job as good as a man. Yeah, that's crappy.
That has no place,
That's the thing that women have been fighting for ages. They've always been looked down upon. They've always been dismissed. They've always been told that they're not as smart. They can't do the job as good. They're not going to get paid as much. They can't own property. I mean, I understand.
It's really sad because there was a post that Vahid made on the chat this morning on Maritza's channel, and she said patriarchy is beautiful. We need men because they're the leaders, and we need to follow their example, you know. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you buying into this? You know, I mean, this lie that women are lost and they can't find their own way out of
Out of a wet paper bag.
I mean, really, it's really. And she goes, I know I'm old fashioned, but you know, that's just the way I am.
I think that there's a complement between the two sexes, and that females complement men in a certain way and men complement women in a certain way, and they make up for something that maybe the other sex doesn't necessarily have in a certain way. But like, as far as being smarter and all that kind of stuff, I think they're equal.
I think that, you know, women know how to multitask better than men would. Men get goal oriented and they get goal like lined so that they're looking at one objective and they want to complete it. It's like, okay, I've got a project. I got to build my kid's play set. And that's all they're thinking about, you know. Whereas a woman is like, okay, I've got this, that, the other. I got to pick up the kids. I got to cook. I got to do this. Got to do that. I got this other thing at work that I have to work on. And oh, and my girlfriend needs me, you know, because she's going through a rough time. You know, I mean, so there's all this stuff going on, you know. So I don't know. I just think that the complementary thing is definitely.
I think what Jessica was initially saying was that, and don't quote me on this, but it felt like it was like trans women are wanting to be the stereotypical old-fashioned way that women were, and women are trying to get past that, and trans women are kind of screwing it up for other women in a sense. And in a way, I can sort of see that. And in another way, I'm like, I mean, I can see it in a certain sense. And then in another way, I can say, no, that's not necessarily all true.
I think that, you know, these things are very sensitive issues. You know, reproductive rights for women is a sensitive issue. And you know, it's not respected, you know, by our current administration and stuff like that. But, you know, to just make a blanket statement and say patriarchy is beautiful, it's in our scriptures, and without the patriarchy there would be no order. Us women need good men to lead us. I know that's very old-fashioned.
That's just saying that women aren't smart enough to lead themselves, and it's just really stupid. The heat is just, I don't know. I don't want to say anything that's too.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't really, it doesn't ring true for me. I just don't think that's true. You know, I think that we've lost a lot by not having women, you know, in positions of leadership and stuff. I mean, the NASA engineers that had the people going up to the moon were women, you know, but they didn't get the credit, you know. I mean, it's really a really sad thing, because most of the kids going to school these days, there's a lot more girls going than boys, you know. And it's just, you know, I just think it's really a disservice to females to make them feel like they're like second-class citizens. And that's what, you know, that's what's always been, you know. I love trans people. Maybe it's because I'm from Michigan. I'm straightforward. That's great. That's great. I don't like labels. So, I mean, I just think that we're just people, you know. I don't
think of myself as a trans woman most of the time. I just think of myself as just another woman, or just another person.
Yeah. And not to take away from cis women at all, because we don't have your shared experiences. We don't ovulate. We don't have babies. We obviously, you know.
And we don't claim to be cis.
Right. We don't claim to be cis. And we respect, if women wanted to literally like want to gather together and talk about menses and stuff, I'm not offended if they're not going to invite me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, you know, if they want to have a women's only gathering that doesn't include, you know, women like me, I'm fine with that, you know. But, you know, where I'm not fine is when people just throw people like you and I under the bus and say, oh, you're just a bunch of men in wigs and dresses and you know, it's like, you know,
It's so not true.
It's really lame.
It's not true.
And okay, and here we go. Amy says, I don't know, Lynna. My husband does 20 things at once like a lunatic.
I was gonna say people are different.
Yeah. But stereotypes being what they are, you know, you get programmed into thinking, oh, women are multitasking, men are single goal oriented. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of like, oh, yeah, that's right. But, oh, wait, Sherry, I've never been told by a transgender woman how to be female, but you will get plenty of that from both the religious right and secular right. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. So did you finish your strawberries?
I still have a bunch left. I didn't finish them.
Wow.
I saved them for the next show.
Oh, for the next show. So they're like props.
Yeah.
I've got all of my apricots. Is it apricots or apricots?
I guess it depends on how you feel.
I think I'm going to call them apricots. Just
Okay.
sounds better to me. But these aren't ripe yet. They're still kind of firm. I get picked on when I do that. Because I don't think sometimes. Hey all says, oh, Debbie Lynn TV. Hi, Debbie Lynn.
Hello.
So is there anything else you want to talk, or do you want to call a wrap on it? We're at 2:41, 49, 50, 51.
We could probably call a wrap, unless anyone had any questions about anything, or if you had any questions about anything.
But we've had a lot of interaction on the chat, and I wanted to thank everybody. I wanted to thank you, Jessica Thomas. Yeah, thank you for coming over and sharing. And you know, I don't want to come across as defensive or anything, and I'm working on it. But I wanted to say that you're always welcome to come to this channel, and we would never block you, or, you know, regardless of how you might feel and stuff. And I honestly want to answer any questions that you may have with regards to me, my past, and my present, and anything that you would want to ask, you know, Ashbringer, you know, Audrey Hepburn.
That's right.
Or known as Justice.
Yeah.
How did you get that name? Did you have it before?
No, I chose Justice. The reason why I chose it was because I was really into law at the time, and I was studying law. And I also picked it because it's unisex. I wasn't sure how I was going to turn out, so I chose a unisex name.
So you didn't know how you were going to turn out?
Yeah, I didn't know how I was going to turn out going through my transition. And I thought, well, if I'm going to name myself, I might as well name myself unisex, just in case for some reason I just end up androgynous and whatnot, but mostly because I was into law.
You definitely didn't.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, if you thought you needed to do anything, girl, you're good.
I've thought about it. There's one thing that I want to do that you've already done, which is
the trick. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The trick is, yeah, it gets annoying.
It bothers me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I just think you're beautiful. Everybody else here does too. So I'm not the only one, you know.
Well, you're just as gorgeous.
I'm just me. I'm just happy. So, you know, I want my own hair to grow. I mean, I have it, but
growing out long.
It's growing, but it's like wigs are like a comfort for me. And, you know, some days I can be short hair, some days I can be long hair. You know.
But you wear them like they look natural.
Well, I want them to look natural. I don't want to be on the show and go, dang, this wig is just so,
And tear it off your head. And
pulling it down. And, it just, I don't really think that just defeats the purpose of the illusion of having your own hair, having your own hair that looks like this, so.
I was lucky because I was born with thick hair. So
that's awesome. And it looks beautiful. Do you do anything like, what's your regimen?
I should take better care of my hair, but I don't. I mean, I wash it like once every week. Huh?
Take better care of it.
I know.
You're young.
I need to get a trim. I have some dead ends. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting keratin tipped extensions online.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hear they're really good and very natural looking. And, but I had a hair transplant like back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was, struggling in the hair department. And it's been a journey, but I never really got completely done. So it's still like sparse where I don't want it to be, and I've tried toppers and, little pieces. And it's always like, what is this mop? What is this thing on my head? So wigs seem to work for me, but if I could just get just a little, I don't know, maybe the keratin tipped extensions will help, but it's a journey for everybody. Everybody has their own challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
When I came out as trans, they all tried to tell me how to be female over my voice, but I kept it because I do country music and I'm known for that. Wow. So as long as it doesn't bother you,
Yeah.
Oh, and Ella Chick Nickelpecker.
I know. It's an epic name.
It is.
I chose this name, and at the time I was manic too, so that plays a part in, plays a little bit of a part in it.
But it fits. It works. It works really well. And do people always like say something like, what
The people at the bank were like, "Are you like a superhero? You have like a superhero name." And I'm like, and they like type it in the computer, and of course it's the only one that comes up. I'm the only one in the whole world, most likely. So it's funny.
It stands on its own. It really
does. Yeah, like, it's a really strong name.
Do not need a last name. You're just Justice.
Oh, just my first name alone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're like, it's like Hollywood already.
Yeah.
Oh, who is that? Is that?
Well, I think of Lady Justice, like the statue. Holding the scales and the sword.
Oh, okay.
That's what really like got me into that.
Nice. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, but
okay.
It's been really great doing another show with you.
Fun being on Lynna's Life.
Lynna's Life.
Lynna's Life. I
know we probably started guns blazing at the beginning, and I do apologize if we went overboard. But I'm still working through stuff myself personally. And some of the things that are being said are so incendiary towards a community that I love and respect. And, I have opinions. I have feelings about it, and I know you do too. And I think it's more valid when it comes from you than it comes from me, because you don't know Mark, Maritza. You don't have anything invested in them, whereas I was their spouse. So people could be like, "Oh, Lynna's just bitter," and it's like, honestly, I'm not. I'm not bitter at all. I get better. I know. I just want Maritza to move on and not talk about me, because it seems like every show there's always like, and for those of you trans women who have had 5 children, left your families, and had breast augmentation recently 7 days ago, it's like, wait a minute. I'm not talking about you, but I am,
Yeah.
It's just dumb, So I just hope that they can like maybe grow up, and just move on, find love, fall in love, and make the world a happy place, That's what I want to do, hopefully I'll just be able to do that. And, who knows, maybe leave YouTube behind and just forget anything about social media, just live. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because
I hear you.
I've been encouraged to do that too. It's like, Lynna, you need to just leave the internet completely. And it's like, well, I'd have to change my name because every time I would, if anyone types up Mark Angelo Cummings, my name comes up.
Yep.
Anyone types up Lynna Lopez, Mark comes up. So I'm like forever linked to this person. So I couldn't be anonymous if I tried, unless I change my name and call myself Liberty.
You're so funny. Justice and Liberty. Welcome to our show, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I'm so happy to see you all here. We're going to talk about justice and liberty.
Hey, Liberty, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we could do a show from the Statue of Liberty.
We'll have to go to New York, though. Isn't that where it's at, New York?
That's the plan. Yeah. We'll do a show like right at Battery Park overlooking the statue.
There we go.
Yeah. See, we've got big budget plans for this show.
Yep.
People just need to hold on to their hats and glasses because we've got a wild ride. No drugs or anything involved.
No crack, no cocaine, no marijuana, no speedballs.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, thanks so much, Justice.
Nice talking to you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you again, but in real life. My friend has a surgery coming up, and if I feel good enough, maybe I can go visit her during her surgery in that town where you live, and then maybe meet up with you or something. Like I was going to hook up with you the other day when we almost went over there, Yeah. I don't know. I may surprise you. I may be like, hey, I'm in your neck of the woods.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So thanks again. Love you so much.
Yeah, I love you too.
Okay. And just wanted to, I think I'm going to stay on and just say a few words, but then,
okay.
Did you eat yet or have you eaten already?
No, just fruit.
What's your typical dinner?
It just really depends. I'm not a big eater, so.
Oh, I didn't think you were. Right. Because look at the hands. I mean, you need to feed your hands. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, Lynna.
Okay. Love you so much. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
So there you have it. A wonderful, wonderful woman and a beautiful, beautiful soul. And it's so awesome to know her. She has been a very, just kind heart, towards me. And some of the things, her sense of humor is so funny. I mean, she's just like, she has this dry humor, but then she's just really pixie cute, So, I mean, the way she communicates is just fun. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching me throughout the years. And for those of you who've been longtime viewers and everything, you know what I'm all about. You know that I've always been who I've been, with a wig, without one, on the transition road and off of it. I mean, I've just been me. And that's the beauty of my life, is that on Lynna's Life, I've always been able to give you guys the truth about my situation, the truth about who I am and why I am who I am. So it's really a wonderful opportunity that I have now to be able to share with you guys and to have a guest like Justice and a co-hostess, on the show. And I look forward to literally maybe doing a show with her from where she's at and everything, or maybe doing some little video skits and things like that, or just talking about whatever. So we plan on doing more. We don't really have a name for a new show or something like that, but I would love to get on to her channel whenever she wants to do anything and, She's always welcome here. And any of you guys, like Amy, if you ever wanted to be on Lynna's Life, you know, get yourself a webcam, or Sherry, if you wanted to be on. I mean, I can send you a link, you know, or Debbie Lynn, or anybody, you know. We could just chat, have a good time, and enjoy, right? Yeah, I'll go over it with justice and liberty for all. That's funny. See, I'm going to change my name to Liberty. Yes, I think it's time. Then I could just lose the whole, like, you know, bad vibes and bad karma, right? But anyway, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Dr. Pepper and finish up my kettle corn. And look over my purchase here. I got like my new VS bra. So you guys have a great night. And we'll see you again. Lots of hugs for everybody. Bye.